whenever you invest in a business or you sell people into investing into a business that maybe a lot of people look down upon, and a lot of people say, well, how will that ever become profitable? And then you turn that into a multi-billion-dollar conglomerate over a certain amount of time and never, ever back down from who you are. I like to consider you one of the greatest American dream stories of all time. Ladies and gentlemen, joining us now, the president of UFC, with just a couple days remaining before their 6-week layoff, which is abnormal for this company. Ladies and gentlemen, Dana White.
Yeah, Dana!
How are you, dude?
I'm great. How are you?
Good. Okay, I know you're a Miami dad now, so I saw you down there at the National Championship, up in the suite, sitting right next to Mr. President. Obviously, we will dive into you potentially having some fights in his front lawn and all that type of stuff, but what were your thoughts on the National Championship, and how else have you been spending this 6-week hiatus from UFC fights? You guys were pumping out fights, every weekend, every Tuesday, every Wednesday for like 10 years, it felt like, so 6-week layoff here. How have you been spending your life? You look good. You look good. I want to let you know that.
Well, thank you. Yeah, it was the game. Everybody was telling me when I was going to the game, boy, you're not going to have fun tonight at this game. Basically that it was going to be a blowout. It was a great game. Went right down to the wire. Obviously not the outcome we hoped for, but it was a fun game. And then for the last 6 weeks, it's been great for my team, to get some time off. But everybody's been grinding on the launch for Paramount. We're launching Zuffa Boxing on Friday, and then the UFC on Saturday on Paramount Plus. But it's been great. It's been fun. Everybody's fired up, and we're already really happy that we did this deal with Paramount and CBS. These people have been great to us.
Paramount and CBS have been getting bigger and bigger into not only the content world, they've been spending a lot of money on content, but also into live sport. Now they're dabbling with the UFC. Obviously, we appreciate you getting these deals done for the good of all of sport. The more platforms that are doing live sport, the better for all of us, Dana. So let's, you know what I'm saying, Dana? Let's.
I do.
Yeah. So I appreciate the hell out of you. Now, on that note, you have a big card coming up here for Paramount Plus. Obviously, anytime you got Patty to Batty a part of it, people are going to get excited. Sugar Sean coming back a little bit more mature, it seems like. Yeah. Sugar Sean, the way I heard him answering a question about something he was calling, that was just a little joke that got taken way out of the way. I apologize. Different than how we would have seen him in the past. Gaethje, obviously, on the card as well. What are you expecting from the first Paramount Plus card here this weekend, and what are you excited about, Dana?
Yeah, it's all about matchmaking, and these fights, you got Gaethje and Patty, who are in the top 5 fighting for the interim title to see who will face Ilia Topuria. Gaethje's never been in a bad fight ever, and Patty Pimblett is everybody. He's always the underdog when he goes in, yet he's undefeated in the UFC and always figures out a way to win. O'Malley loves to stand up and strike and knock people out. He's taking on Song Yadong, who loves to do the same thing. That fight should be fireworks. It's a great card, and we believe that it's an incredible first card on Paramount Plus. No more pay-per-view. What it would cost you for a pay-per-view last year, you can pay for the whole year on Paramount Plus. And the other thing about Paramount Plus is not only do you get everything UFC, but you get tons of great TV shows and entertainment and movies. Landman and Mobland are 2 of the best shows on television, period. You should get on Paramount Plus just for those.
Okay, so I appreciate the partnership you have with Paramount Plus, and I agree with you, by the way. Landman, I got introduced to Landman via Jerry Jones knocking it out of the park. Yep. And that's how I got introduced to the show. And then obviously taking trips down to Texas Tech and Texas A&M. Fascinated by it all, started watching. Incredible, absolutely incredible. Mobland, incredible. I believe we talked about it earlier today.
Yeah, Tulsa
King's on there. Sly Stallone's on there.
Mayor of Kingstown.
Paramount Plus spending a lot of money, brother. A lot of money to get, bigger real estate in the entire game. And you said no more pay-per-view. Let's talk about that. Because Gaethje did come out and chit-chat about maybe the finances of the entire situation. Are you still trying to figure out how this all works in this non-pay-per-view world? Like, how do you kind of view the evolution of going from what you were to what is now? Because this feels like a big step for your company. Legitimately, Dana. It feels like a big step.
We completely have it dialed in. We got really smart kids that came in and told, they can get down within, single digits on how close it would be to pay them like it was a pay-per-view. And Gaethje, without getting into all that stuff, Gaethje was offered more money, and Gaethje never responded.
Okay, so obviously there's behind the scenes of business deals. I hope you and Gaethje figure it out. But the main event of the first card, okay, good. On the main event of the first card on Paramount Plus in this new world, didn't love hearing that there was any type of potential drama, but you guys figuring it out, good news. We appreciate you getting into this new space because I think obviously it opens up to a lot more people to watch your sport. How do you feel about where your sport is right now? Because I don't even think people know MMA. They just know UFC. How do you feel? You got multiple stars on here, let alone Lewis. You got multiple stars on the card. How do you kind of envision UFC over the next few years with this Paramount Plus deal?
Yeah, we're going to continue to create young, up-and-coming talent that we think, have the potential to be world champions. We're going to put on the best fights we can possibly put on. And I think that, with this platform now that costs less than a pay-per-view for the year, we'll bring in more fans and introduce more people to the sport, and some people that might have fell off because it was too expensive in the past. So I'm really looking forward to it.
Hell yeah, as you should be. Zuffa, you talk about building stars and kind of doing something to a sport. It feels like it hasn't happened in a long time. You come from the boxing world. Nick Khan grew up in Vegas. Boxing was his favorite sport. Obviously with TKO alongside with Ari and Mark, obviously in the promotional business, and teaming up with Turkey and I believe Crown Prince. God bless him. Feels like you're the right people to maybe take a run at boxing right now. How do you feel about where you are?
Everything is about timing.
Okay.
And the timing is absolutely perfect right now. And I agree. And we're literally going to start and build the sport from the bottom up, the way that I always wanted to do it. And again, it's about finding the best fighters in the world, and it's about matchmaking. If you look at this card, our first card, the whole card's combined record is 227-9, right? Top three fights, all the fighters are undefeated. So everybody in boxing is undefeated right now. At the end of 2026, a lot of O's are going to go. And if you're still undefeated in the next couple of years, it actually means something that's going to be special.
Okay. You said you're going to start making that card, right? Didn't you say you're going to start making that card? When is that? After this?
I'm making that card on Monday. And as soon as I got back to Vegas, I told Lene, I said, Lene, Pat shot his shot up there in the box, and the president said yes. So let's get it done.
We landed the plane. Okay, hell yeah. I'm happy to hear you got that. Live from the White House is an absurd thing. Okay, just as a program started in a basement.
So,
go ahead.
So yesterday, my team, they put together, we come up with a whole plan for production, how it's going to work. My head of production, Craig Borsari, has been working with the White House, for a couple months now. And they build this video rendering of like every tree that's on the property and all this stuff. It's exactly the way it is. We can literally the sun, how the sun will hit the seats at certain times, what it'll look like when it's dark.
Crazy.
This is going to be so badass.
Yeah,
it is. And it's a one of one in our lifetime to be able to do something like that. And Pat, absolutely brilliant as usual by you to take your shot that night in the box. And for you and your team to come be a part of this, it's going to be something that you will never forget for the rest of your life.
Okay,
considering all the things that you've done and all the great things you've been a part of, this is going to be special.
Yeah, America's 250 years old. Okay, we did it.
Yep.
Okay, that's a long time being a country, and not often sports with White House happen, other than like championship teams go there. I obviously didn't get a chance to do that, so now that we're going to be live from the White House for this, have you? Okay, and now I got to ask this follow-up because fight fans would be pissed if I didn't. So I heard you did an interview. I forget who it was. I apologize. You'll probably remember who it was, where you talked about the Chandler-Conor McGregor fight, and you're like, that's old news. Chandler comes out and says he's going to keep optimism about it. You, to be completely transparent at this point, as much as you want to be at least, how empty slate is that card? Or do you already have in your head what you're hoping to happen, and then you just kind of got to make it happen? Like where are you in the development of the card? Because I know that's a massive ordeal for all parties.
So my entire focus right now is on the launch this weekend. I got boxing on Friday, the UFC on Saturday. Sunday, I'm watching the Patriots go to the Super Bowl.
Hell yeah.
And then then Monday, we're all in on the White House fight. We don't have anything laid out. We're not, nothing. It'll all start Monday.
Okay. All right.
And no disrespect to Chandler. We love Chandler. Chandler's one of the, you don't have enough time in your show for me to talk to you about how awesome Chandler is. And you know how I feel about Conor and everything that he's done for the sport and this company. But yeah, that's not the fight we're going with.
Go ahead, AJ.
Dana, I mean, I know you're saying that's not the fight, but is there anything, I know Conor's been publicly asking for this, he wants to be on the card. Is there anything that you're looking for him to do to prove that he's responsible and he can be the guy to headline that card?
Conor and I have a great relationship. You know, we talk a lot, you know, through text. And yeah, he's definitely in the running for this fight.
Okay, I like that. I feel like we could keep prying, but I don't want to. Don't want to do it.
You can pry. If there's anybody that I would lay it out and say it to, it would be you.
Yeah, for the good.
Honest to God, on my daughter, all this starts on Monday.
Okay, you're the man. All right, and also we appreciate you saying that, but also for your good too, because I remember we had Turkey on, and Turkey started saying things, and you were like, "Yeah, we can wait to make these announcements separately.
Not finalized yet.
You know, we can kind of run a business here if we'd like to do that."